Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is TVP World. You're watching World News. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee, and these are the latest headlines. An Azerbaijani passenger plane en route from Baku to Grozny has crashed in Kazakhstan. Preliminary reports from the Kazakh Emergency Situations Ministry confirm that 25 people survived the crash. While initial reports stated there were 105 passengers and 5 crew members on board, Kazakh authorities have clarified that the aircraft was carrying 62 passengers and 5 crew members. Operated by Azerbaijan Airlines, the plane was diverted to Akto due to heavy fog at its destination. It reportedly made multiple descent attempts and circled the Akto airport before crashing. Preliminary investigations suggest a bird strike caused the incident. Polish artillery units will soon be equipped with new drones designed to provide advanced warnings about threats on the battlefield. On Tuesday, the Polish Ministry of Defense finalized an agreement for their procurement.
Artillery units operating in Ukraine are often faced with counter-battery fire. Long-range Russian drones seek out and strike howitzers when they are vulnerable. The Polish armed forces are taking steps to mitigate this risk by providing artillery units with their own drones, able to provide early warning.
We signed a deal for drones which will protect, among others, the Homar K missile launchers and K9 howitzers. This is a measure taken so that artillery can feel safe. This will be the eyes and ears of the Polish artillery.
The contract will provide Polish armed forces with 2 types of drones, manufactured by the Polish company WB Electronics. These machines will give artillery crews a much wider field of view, allowing them to detect threats from far away and take the appropriate measures. One type of drone that will be used is called Fly-Eye and is already a vital tool of the Ukrainian armed forces.
The company we signed the contract with today has enormous experience and my trust. Experience coming not only from our soldiers, but also from where the system is being used right now, where it is much needed.
Additionally, Polish artillery crews will receive an electronic reconnaissance system. The delivery of the drones is scheduled to begin next year and conclude in 2028.
Russia's aggression against Ukraine persists, leaving at least 6 people injured in a missile attack on Kharkiv and targeting critical infrastructure, including the DTEK power plant in Zaporizhia. In response, Poland conducted a fighter jet operation within its airspace. Kharkiv in northeastern Ukraine was hit by Russian ballistic missiles on Wednesday morning, according to the city's mayor. Air raid alarms echoed nationwide as further airstrikes were anticipated. The Ukrainian press agency also reported that Caliber missiles fired from the Black Sea struck Zaporizhia on Tuesday afternoon, resulting in 1 death and 17 injuries. A Russian attack on a DTEK power plant in Zaporizhia caused significant equipment damage, further straining Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Responding to these developments, Poland's operational command of the armed forces initiated a fighter jet operation in Polish airspace. The mission, which lasted 2 hours, was part of a standard defense measure. The command confirmed ongoing surveillance through air defense systems and radar reconnaissance. Ukraine has received its first $1 billion from frozen Russian assets in the United States. This marks the initial tranche of the $20 billion allocated by the U.S. as part of a G7 initiative. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal expressed gratitude for Ukraine's international partners for their support. He also voiced optimism that all frozen Russian assets could eventually be confiscated and used for Ukraine's reconstruction. The loan, announced in early December, is part of a financial support package pledged by the G7 this summer. The initiative repurposed profits from frozen Russian central bank assets to repay the loan, providing crucial aid for Ukraine during its ongoing recovery. Maia Sandu has officially begun her 2nd term as Moldova's president. Backed by the Party of Action and Solidarity, Sandu triumphed in the runoff election held on November 3rd. During her inauguration speech, she reaffirmed Moldova's commitment to European integration.
Maia Sandu has been officially sworn in as the president of Moldova for a second term.
Finally, dear citizens, I tell you with my hand on my heart, I worked with dedication in my first term, and I will continue with even more will and energy. After 4 years, I can humbly say that together we have done something that has never been done in 30 years of independence.
Observers have described the circumstances of the latest presidential election as, quote, extremely challenging, with allegations of Russian interference abounding. With a modest force of just 6,000 soldiers and a border stretching over 1,200 kilometers with Ukraine, Moldova feels rather vulnerable to Russian influence.
Russia is using any means possible to blow up any hopes of European integration. Corruption is used by Russian Federation as a weapon against the populace of the Republic of Moldova, as it was used also in Ukraine.
However, the pro-EU Sandu managed to secure victory in the presidential runoff election with over 55% of the vote. So what did Sandu exactly do that hasn't been done before? Prior to Sandu, Moldova was largely governed by pro-Russian officials, which benefited a few oligarchs, leaving the rest of the population to fend for themselves. Sandu, a Harvard graduate with the reputation of an honest politician determined to fight corruption, broke the glass ceiling to become the country's first female president and earned the respect of top EU officials.
Dear @Sandu Maia MD, congratulations on your inauguration today. Despite foreign forces working against you, you won fair and square. Your integrity and determination inspire us all. You can count on me as Moldova moves forward on its path to our union.
Sandu's victory doesn't signal an end to challenges in Moldova, though. Corruption, rooted in a Soviet legacy, continues to disrupt the country's internal governance. And despite the Kremlin's denials of meddling in the last election, Russian influence remains a significant threat, particularly with the 2025 parliamentary elections around the corner.
The vote on the 3rd of November for Mrs. Sandu was not, let's say, a vote only for Mrs. Sandu. It was a vote against Russia. But this major victory on the 3rd of November will not happen again at the parliamentary elections. And we, in my opinion, we will see a resurrection of the Russian interests here in Moldova.
With Moldova officially being an EU candidate since 2022, an EU survey has revealed that 76% of respondents believe their country enjoys positive relations with the bloc. Despite that, the already pervasive signs of Russian influence signal a challenging start to Sandu's second term.
Danish Defense Minister Troels Lund Poulsen has committed to investing millions of euros to enhance Denmark's military presence in Greenland. This announcement follows statements by President-elect Donald Trump, who emphasized Greenland's strategic importance to the United States. Minister Poulsen revealed that the planned investment would amount to at least 1.45 billion euros. The funds will go towards acquiring drones and naval vessels, as well as upgrading an airport to accommodate F-35 fighter jets. In an interview with the Danish newspaper, Poulsen stated that Denmark has neglected Arctic security in recent years. The announcement coincides with President-elect Trump's remarks on Monday, underscoring Greenland's significance for U.S. national security. During his first term, Trump offered to purchase Greenland, but Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen rejected the proposal. If Ukraine is in conflict, it is at the same time in conflict with the largest Orthodox church, stated Jan Hartman, a professor of philosophy at Jagiellonian University, during an interview with TVP World. Hartman emphasized the significant role of the Orthodox Church plays in the ongoing Russian-Ukraine war, underscoring its influence on the conflict's dynamics.
There is nothing strange about the fact that the Orthodox Ukrainian Church regains independence, and it shows its connection to the state of Ukraine, to the Ukrainian ambitions to be part of the West, accepting the liturgic calendar of the West, of the Catholic West. During the war, the church is important. However, sometimes churches or religious institutions also help aggressors. Okay, in Russia, Orthodox priests encourage soldiers to be brave.
As the Christmas season unfolds, shoppers across Poland and Europe are finalizing their holiday preparations. New data has revealed that Poland is among the leaders in holiday spending growth this year. How do Poles compare to their European neighbors in holiday spending trends? Well, let's take a look.
In Poland, the festive spirit is thriving, with consumers spending more generously than in past years. The data from the Mastercard Economics Institute predicts a notable 6.4% increase in holiday spending. This puts Poland second in Europe for holiday spending growth, trailing only Hungary, which leads at 7.7%.
This year, much like the last, we've seen a significant rise in wages across both the private and public sectors. With increases in the minimum wage and salaries in the public sector, Polish consumers now have greater opportunities to boost both their spending and savings.
According to a study conducted by the Polish Bank Association, the average Pole plans to spend approximately €320 during this Christmas season. While total spending has increased, consumers are seeking value for money, looking for discounts and prioritising essential purchases. Analyst Dawid Sulkowski explains what this means for the Polish economy.
Survey data tracking current consumer sentiment shows that the willingness to make major purchases, like buying a home, a car, or doing renovations, is now at its highest level since the pandemic. This positive trend also influences how much we spend, particularly during the holiday season.
We took to the streets of Warsaw to ask residents about their Christmas spending this year.
We usually spend as normal. We don't hold back when it comes to family. Around €140, more or less.
It varies. Sometimes we spend a lot, sometimes not much.
I spend a little, but the gifts are well thought out. I don't buy in a rush.
All in all, holiday sales across Europe in 2024 are projected to rebound, with consumer spending during the Christmas season forecasted to grow by nearly 3% compared to last year.
Creativity takes center stage during the festive season. From surprising traditions to unusual celebrations, we explore how people worldwide spread holiday cheer in unexpected ways.
Although the celebrations of Christmas has its roots in religion and the birth of Jesus, it's safe to say that the entertainment value of the holiday is never lost on people. From underwater Santas to Christmas presents for zoo lions, many seem to be approaching it from a purely festive and fun perspective. In Tokyo and Rio de Janeiro, visitors gathered on Christmas Eve to watch a Santa Claus dive in the tank alongside African penguins and sharks. Water seemed to be a recurring theme this year, as hundreds of Santas in Thessaloniki and Venice didn't stop pedaling all Christmas. Argentinian Santas have swapped their sleighs for motorbikes to deliver holiday cheer to hospitals. Rome's Bioparco Zoo spread holiday cheer by giving its animal family Christmas-themed packages to encourage natural behavior and improve their well-being. Whether it's police officers dressed as the Grinch, Santas on the water, or otters opening their presents, the holiday season is celebrated with fun and color around the globe.
This year is a different year. My message is the message of peace.
And with that, we conclude this edition of World News. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.